Mark Carter, a hardworking professional, is consumed by overthinking after a promotion at work. His constant anxiety makes him second-guess every decision, overwhelming him with worries and what-ifs. A conversation with his colleague Sarah introduces him to mindfulness, a technique that helps him live in the present and break free from the endless cycle of stress. As he learns to redirect his energy and focus on what he can control, Mark finds peace and clarity in both his personal and professional life. Please subscribe my YouTube channel and press the bell icon for new update. Mark Carter had recently received a promotion at work, and the new responsibilities seemed overwhelming. He found himself second-guessing every decision, no matter how small. His mind raced constantly with worries about what could go wrong at work, with his team, and even in his personal life. The pressure was relentless, and Mark felt like he couldn't escape the endless loop of overthinking. One day, his colleague Sarah noticed how distracted Mark seemed. She walked into his office and asked, "You okay, Mark? You've been staring at your screen for a while now." Mark sighed. "Yeah, just a lot on my mind. Can't seem to stop overthinking." Sarah smiled knowingly and sat across from him. "I get it. Overthinking can be a real trap, but it doesn't have to control you. You just have to change the way you think about it." Mark raised an eyebrow. "How do you do that?" "Every time I try to push the worries away, they just keep coming back." "It's not about pushing them away," Sarah explained. "It's about recognizing when you're overthinking and then redirecting your energy. One technique I use is mindfulness. When you start spiraling, focus on the present moment. Pay attention to your breath, the sensations around you. It helps break the cycle." Mark was skeptical, but decided to give it a try. Over the next few days, he made a conscious effort to practice mindfulness. It wasn't easy at first. His mind was constantly pulling him back into the what-ifs, but little by little, he began to notice a shift. He started to feel more in control, more present in each moment. One afternoon, Mark's boss, Greg, called to check in on the project he was overseeing. As the phone rang, Mark's heart raced. "What if Greg's unhappy with my work? What if I made a mistake?" he thought. But then he remembered Sarah's advice. He took a deep breath, grounded himself in the present, and answered the call calmly. "Hey Mark, just checking in. How's the project going?" Greg's voice was casual. "It's going great," Mark replied, feeling more confident than he had in days. "We're on track, and the team is making good progress." Greg sounded pleased. "Awesome. Keep up the good work." After the call, Mark sat back, surprised by how easy it had been. He had been worried about nothing. The reality had been far less stressful than the scenarios he had imagined in his head. He realized that his overthinking had been creating problems that didn't even exist. In the weeks that followed, Mark continued practicing mindfulness and focusing on the present. It wasn't an instant fix, but over time it became easier. He learned that he didn't have to control every outcome, and that it was okay to make mistakes. The more he focused on what was happening right now, the less power his overthinking had. One evening, sitting on his porch and watching the sunset, Mark felt a sense of peace he hadn't felt in a long time. The worries that used to keep him up at night were now just distant thoughts. He wasn't perfect, but he was learning to take things one step at a time, and that was enough.